Yeah, the almond industry is in a very healthy state in India. One of the reasons is that in India, almonds have been traditionally been consumed over centuries, part of Indian tradition and culture. And the tradition here demands that people have almonds in the morning. They give it to the children in the morning so they can do well in school and in life. What we found is that the consumption of almonds are diversifying. It's gone into sweets, which it has for a while, but now it's increasingly moving into the snacking space as well. As the market is growing, we have 81% of the market, but this year what we found is we've already had a 35% growth in the market. Last year we shipped out 126 billion pounds, so we can just imagine the kind of growths which are happening. And to put that into perspective, India is the second largest export destination. On that large export market, if you're growing at 35%, that indicates a huge potential which exists. And one of the reasons this potential exists is because the per capita consumption is still very low. On a per capita consumption is only 0.39 pounds a person, and that's very low compared to countries such as the United States of America or Germany or etc., which are close to 2 pounds a person. So as the economy grows, as people have more disposable income in their hands, as people get more concerned about their health, we can only expect the demand for almonds to grow. And one of the things which we must also keep in track what's happening in India, the three rising health concerns in India are heart health, diabetes, we're already the diabetes capital, heart we are very big, and now there's increased obesity. Now, if you look at the principal benefits which you get from almonds, they're good for the heart, they're good for weight management, good for diabetes. So the nutrient profile of almonds, the health benefits of almonds fits in perfectly with what is the demand or health demands of the country. Apart from that, we have a very strong antioxidant profile. Vitamin E, which as you know will be good against heart inflammation, might possibly help against cancer, would be good against skin, and we have the highest amount of vitamin E across all nuts. We also have the highest amount of proteins across all nuts, which you know is very critical for children, critical for everybody. And we have a very strong dietary fiber inside, which you need for your gut health, which you need for your digestion. So our nutrient profile as well as the health benefits are completely matched with what the country needs, which gives us optimism that and along with the per capita consumption being low, gives us optimism that the market for almonds will continue to grow. Yeah, the business is very strong. As I said that we dominate the Indian market. We have 81% share of the market if you look at 2016 figures. And this year we're already growing at 35%. So overall, we continue to dominate, we continue to strengthen ourselves in this market. And one of the reasons why that is happening is, of course, California grows 80% of the world production of almonds. But I think the other thing is the huge consumer acceptability of our product, because our product is never bitter. People like the product, they like the taste, it's easy to chew. Because of all these reasons, California almonds continues to strengthen itself. Today, actually, if you look at it, even if you look at a lot of branded products, the packs, they tend to write California almonds inside or almonds from California inside, because of the consumer acceptability of Californian almonds, they're encouraged to write that, and that really helps them in selling the product because they're meeting a consumer need. No, India hardly grows any almonds, so almost all the almonds which are consumed in India are imported. As I said, 81% comes from us, another 13% comes from Australia, and then the balance is brought up by Afghanistan, Syria, and Iran. Now, globally, our production this year is estimated to be 2.2 billion pounds. We've had a huge growth in production, but historically we've seen whenever production has increased, we've been successful in increasing global demand as well. So it all gets consumed us, but it's good time for almond industry overall. So if you look at our growth in India, if you look at 2009-10, we were 84 million pounds, and by 2015-16, we were 126 million pounds, which is a 50% growth. Now, so historically, that's the kind of growth you've seen, but this year we've seen a huge bump up with a 35% growth so far. So what that tells us is the growth rate is only accelerating from here on, as acceptability of the product is becoming more and more. Also, we don't have stores. As I explained, that we are a board representing the entire Californian almond industry. So we are not at the commercial part of the business. We don't buy almonds or sell almonds or set prices. So what happens is the commercial transactions happens from the exporters and packers from California, who then export to the importers in India, who then further distribute it out. So we don't have direct store, but it is obviously, if anybody in amongst the importers wants to set up a store, they're more than welcome to do so. Yeah, it's very strong. As I said, because we're already 81% of the market shows a huge acceptance. The 35% growth is showing a huge acceptance. The feedback we get from the market is people walk into the market and ask for Californian almonds. They don't ask for almonds. Straight away ask for Californian almonds, which just shows you the kind of brand value Californian almonds has built up. It just shows you the value California as an origin has built up in the almond industry. The future plans is that we'll continue, our basic focus is actually increasing snacking. So when I call snacking as hand-to-mouth consumption, so which is the morning consumption, which is a traditional consumption, which still has a huge opportunity to grow. And to explain that, the per capita consumption is just 0.39 pounds a person, which is very low compared to developed markets, which are 2 pounds a person. So obviously we're grossly unsaturated. We like people to have almonds every day because it's helpful for them. But apart from that, we see a role for almonds replacing a lot of unhealthy snacks, both in the mid-morning and the late afternoon, early evening, or other spaces, because people take care of the health in the main meals, the breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then forget it all during the snacking. We want to encourage people to have healthy snacking, and out of which almonds can play a very easy role. Today you saw a demonstration how easy you can make tasty preparations of almonds very quickly, in just 5 minutes, and have it, which gives you the taste variety for you to continue to have almonds every day. So our focus is building the market, continuing to do research on the health benefits, educating the consumers about the health benefits, educating them about the different ways they can have almonds as a snack, and further continue to grow the market. Yeah, so GST, what has happened is that when initially the GST rates were announced, all the nuts were put on the same pedestal, nuts and dry fruits at 12%. Subsequently, the cashews and raisins, the GST rate was brought to 5%, whereas all the other nuts were put at 12%, for reasons which we are not very clear about. I'm hopeful that the government reconsiders it and gives a common GST rate of 5% across all the nuts, so there's no discrimination amongst nuts. In fact, if you look at from independence, all the nuts have always been on the same bracket. The first time there's an effort to pull out a couple of nuts and put it onto a different bracket. We hope that the government does rethink this and put everybody onto the same bracket of 5%.